Yeah, what do YouTube? It's your boy Eli the Rebel. Welcome to the Season 2 finale of the Grand Canyon University Dynasty here on the channel. Yes, the title says it all. You already know the vibes. We got a double header for this one to finish off the season. As you can see, we are 9-2 overall, 7-0 in conference, and if we beat Boise State today, we're going to take home the conference championship. The WAC. Although they are number one in the nation, they do not have Quincy Fields, aka Kellen Moore. He's out with a broken tailbone. So there is major hope that we can pull up the upset here at home in T'Challa Turf. But Lee Corso's still going to rock with those Broncos, man. And so with the doubleheader, this will imply that the bowl game will also be on today's episode in addition to this game. So because Boise State is away, they're going to call heads. We win the toss. We end up deferring, meaning we'll get the ball at half, and Boise State will receive to start. We're rocking the blackout jerseys here after a Boise State 3-and-out. This is the first offensive play of the game for Grand Canyon University. Look at Frank Michael, 6'7", 230, climbed the ladder and grabbed and snatched that football for a first down and then some. A 31-yard pass to start the game is going to do really good for Tony Johnson's confidence. He knows that if he can win this game for the Grand Canyon University Antelopes, he's going to get the eye paint that he so desperately wanted to have when he first stepped on campus, as he gets a first down right there with his legs, a 13-yard run. Followed up that run play with a play-action pass. Tony Johnson rolling left, draws the attention of 4 defenders, and throws the post to Jeff Long, who ends up having a fantastic day. More on him later. But that's going to be another pass of over 20 yards and a first down to boot. Tony Johnson runs play action again, rolls to the left again. Really thought he got into the end zone with this one, but is stopped at the 1-yard line. And it took all 4 downs to get into the end zone. And 3 fullback dives later, Brian Jenkins scores the first touchdown of the game on the first offensive possession for the Antelopes right there. They are bad in black, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, when Grand Canyon University got the ball back, the next possession did not end so very well, as getting hit as he threw the ball. Tony Johnson throws his first interception of the day. This sack right here on a 3rd and 10 leads to this punt return right here by Jeff Long. He sees a lane over to the left side, actually the whole edge to be exactly, goes up the left sideline and dusts the entire Broncos special teams unit for a punt return touchdown. Take a look at this again. A 51-yard punt return for Jeff Long after catching the first 2 punts of the day. It looked like 3rd time's the charm for sure. Not that many highlights to show you here in the second quarter. However, they run a direct snap on 4th down to try to get the first, and they don't get it. An interesting choice not to kick the field goal. It's a 3rd and 1 from the 30-something yard line, right hash, but Brian Jenkins does not get it. However, in an attempt to catch the Boise State defense off guard, they decide to try and run a fullback dive again to redeem Brian Jenkins, and you guessed it, he gets it this time. That is how you convert a 4th down, regardless of field position. With 1.5 minutes to go, Tony Johnson rolls right, looking for somebody across the middle, but gets hit as he throws, leading to his 2nd interception of the day. This time it's going to the impact linebacker, Arnold. Fortunately for the Antelopes, the Boise State Broncos do not come away with points off of that turnover. However, tip drill occurs, and that's Tony Johnson's 3rd pick in the second quarter alone. So a 1 touchdown to 3 interception ratio going into the second half. Not exactly what you want in order to earn that iPay. We're off to an electric start here in the second half. First kick of the second half goes to Jeff Long. You already saw what he can do on the punt return. Look what he does on the kick return. Up the left sideline once again. Tack on 6 more points for the Antelopes right there. T'Challa Turf is absolutely rocking. It's a 3rd and long for the Boise State Broncos. Look at Cedric Roth coming in from the left side of your screen for that sack. But there's a flag on the field. But fortunately, they call holding on one of the offensive linemen. Edwards immediately declines that penalty to force a 4th down. Take a look at this one last time for Cedric Roth. A beautiful tackle. Sack to be exact. On this 2nd and 10, Tony Johnson pitches the ball to Cedric Collier at the last second. Almost gets the 1st down, but Tony Johnson has a head injury on the field. So we have to bring in the Swiss Army knife himself. Our dime quarter corner, Walter Taylor, who had an amazing game against Mississippi State. He's coming in to fill in temporarily for Tony Johnson. Spoiler alert, he does come back later in this game. But Walter Taylor from the gun drops back, rolls right with that 88 speed, throws the fade to Frank Michaels. Touchdown with 40 seconds left in the 3rd. Can you blame Walter Taylor for not throwing it up there? Not really. But you know what? Even though we stole the thunder away from Tony Johnson a little bit, you got to give credit where credit is due, man. And with this extra point right here, it's a 28-0 lead against the number 1 team in the nation. And after a kick return that brings Boise State to midfield, look at this pass by the backup quarterback. Owen will finish the job right there. So Boise State no longer has the goose egg on the scoreboard. It is 28-7 after this. Beautiful, beautiful post pattern right here. Owen, that is now Owen's 3rd catch with 88 yards and now a touchdown. 4th quarter gets a little interesting. Ball's on the 35-yard line, just outside David McCullough's field goal range. So you got to go for it on 4th. But once again, Tony Johnson gets hit late. And what happens when Tony Johnson gets hit late? Throws a pick. And that's interception number 4 on the day for Tony Johnson, unfortunately. However, Tony Johnson finds his rhythm again, just like he did in the very first possession of the game. He's going to find Frank Michaels on a post pattern, 13-yard touchdown. And this might be the best ball in Tony Johnson's career so far. Look how wide open Mike Stewart is. Mike Stewart, the freshman tight end that took over Will Mayo's spot, has scored. Take a look at this ball once again. Tony Johnson sat in that pocket off the play action, throws an absolute rainbow to the freshman tight end. It took all 4 quarters to get this done, but Aaron Thompson is the one to pick off the Boise State backup quarterback in this game, as if the nail wasn't already in the coffin with that Mike Stewart touchdown, folks. It's a 3rd and 1 situation with a minute left to go. All we asked Brian Jenkins to do was find the 1st down. He says, nah, coach. Nah, coach. Let me get this touchdown instead. A fullback running 62 yards to the crib. In what universe is that okay? I don't know. But all I know is points are points. And Brian Jenkins just said, give me the rock and go up the left. This was a statement game. You see this, you see the number 1 ranking on the left for the Boise State Broncos, man. To actually go and put on that performance. Now, would Quincy Fields, aka Kellen Moore, make an X factor if he was healthy? Yes. Maybe more, definitely more points would be scored. And maybe they would end up winning this game. But we took advantage of the fact that their star quarterback was out. And it also sucks because he's also a redshirt senior for staying. So we'll never be able to play against him ever unless I do a brand new series on this channel specifically to play Kellen Moore. We're gonna go look at the stats here very quickly. You can as you can see, Walter Taylor obviously went 1-for-1 with that dime to Frank Michaels and things like that. Tony Johnson finished the game strong, really. Yeah, the 4 interceptions suck, but he threw a couple touchdowns and things like that. You know, with Brandon Jensen having the most yards, it was Frank Michaels and Mike Stewart scoring the actual touchdown receptions in this one. Aaron Thompson had 4 tackles for losses, but no sacks. But he did get the interception. And Jeff Long on both kick return and punt return went absolutely crazy. He ended up being the key player in the game over Frank Michaels and Brian Jenkins. You can see Boise State side, 4 different players picked off Tony Johnson in this one. You know, but with the 2 touchdowns, Tony Johnson will walk in with an even touchdown to interception ratio going into the bowl game. Before we get into the bowl game reveal, I just want to reveal that we ended up getting a couple of prospects here. The first one being Greg Pierce for our high academic standing. We got Greg Pierce out of Whittier, California, a 6'3", 229 5-star middle linebacker that will replace Aaron Thompson and Ryan Johnson the week after from Nampa, Idaho, a 6'3", 286 offensive guard. I really wanted some offensive line help in order for our transfer halfback from Cal to actually do some stuff in the offense, as after our game against Boise State, we got on the front cover of ESPN magazine, and with the win against number 1 Boise State, we ended up getting the WAC championship trophy, It's a very nice trophy, I must say. And the moment you've been waiting for, we play Arizona State in the Emerald Bowl. Now, we did not put up a single point against Arizona State in the first game of the season. And we get our revenge on Boxing Day, the day after Christmas, as Oliver Newton wins the Heisman